from Florida Coastal Cooking and Wellness, your source for plant-based tips, recipes, inspiration, and more to help you live your healthiest life. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever struggled with abundance in any area of your life, whether it be health, finances, relationships, or career? If so, you are going to be so excited about my special interview with the Lisa Nichols. Lisa is a world-renowned transformational speaker that was one of the featured experts in the film The Secret, based on the law of attraction and the power of positive thinking. She's the best-selling author of 6 books, the CEO of the corporation Motivating the Masses, and she's touched the lives of almost 30 million people. She started out as a single mom living in South Central LA on public assistance, and now she's this incredible multimillionaire businesswoman. Her stories have encouraged, challenged, and inspired people from all around the world to discover their gifts and their purpose. Her 7th book, called Abundance Now, is a blueprint of personal stories, inspiring quotes, and real-life case studies. She's been all over the media. She's been on Oprah, The Steve Harvey Show, Extra, Good Morning America, The Today Show, and much more. And then her list of awards and honors has been massive and includes the Humanitarian Award from the country of South Africa, the Ambassador Award, and the Lego Foundation's Heart of Learning Award. The city of Henderson, Nevada named November 20th as Motivating the Team Spirit Day, and the city of Houston, Texas named May 9th Lisa Nichols Day for her dedication to service, philanthropy, and healing. I know you're probably as excited as I am to learn more about her 7th book, Abundance Now, and get started on our road to abundance in 2016. Since I'm in health and wellness, and a lot of my programs and stuff help people eat really clean and help people reach their ideal weight. So, what are the tools that you've been using that have helped you reach and stick with your healthy goals?
First of all, I appreciate the acknowledgement of it. It's still surreal to me. So when I hear when it's a public conversation, because I was so committed and it was such an inside job for me that I've done less than 6 public conversations about it. So I appreciate that. What are some of my regimen, my commitment?
So many times and especially with it being around New Year's, everybody's making New Year's resolutions. And everybody will start them off. And one of my goals is I have a program where over 21 days, I kind of help people jumpstart their healthy life, and with a lot of support. I've got an online group program but I tell people, if you're trying to lose weight for a wedding, my programs are not for you. It's not, I want you to experience the benefit for years, forever. So,
Right.
But so many people start something and then they lose the motivation and they don't stick to it. So that's where my question is, where I think your experience would really be able to help people. How have you been able to stick with it and keep at it to get to the point that you're at now?
I really, Dawn, I simplified it. I took I looked at what was stressing me out about it, weight loss, weight management, health, what was stressing me out about it. And I became really committed to taking all the stress out of it. Anything that caused me stress, I was willing to remodify it and reshape it and change it until it no longer caused me stress. And what that looked like for me was, one, I had to first understand, for me, why did I put on what I call my jacket? I have on a 75-pound jacket. And because it wasn't who I was. But why did I put on that jacket? What made me put on the jacket? So I found the source of that. So I looked at the emotional reasons why I put weight on. And I worked on that and became at peace with why I put it on. I took off the glove, stopped beating myself up, and just gave myself permission to put on 75 pounds and make no excuse about it, and then gave myself permission to tell myself I was safe enough to take it off now. Whatever the reason was, it was complete. And then for me, I did three things. One, I would make a regular plate, and my regular plate size, and then I cut the plate up into 4 sections, and I put them in containers. But I make the plate my regular plate first, so I could see what was my average meal,
Right.
and then I break it down into 4 sections, and then every 90 minutes to 2 hours, I ate one of those sections.
Wow.
And so my stomach just began to shrink, and so I didn't change a whole lot. Like, I went completely off of what I normally would do first initially, because that would be a major takeaway, which doesn't lend to long-term sustainability.
No.
And so I can't go from eating meats and eating carbs and eating pastas to go, I'm only going to do vegetables forever. That the commitment is too big.
Yeah.
And so I simply scaled down what I ate, the amount, but I ate the same thing. And then I slowly began to make different choices and do the best choice of that option group. And initially, I couldn't work out for an hour, to be honest with you, because an hour required me to really be inside this thing called training for an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
I had to get dressed, I had to go. And so that was just too much time. It wasn't a matter of I didn't have the desire to do it. I just didn't have the time to do it in my schedule and still get done when I need to get done. So I committed to work out 15 minutes a day. And I worked out 15 minutes a day every day because it was just 15 minutes. Well, what would happen is I just started getting excited about the working out, and I stopped looking at the clock, and 15 minutes turned to 25, 25 turned to 30, 30 turned to 45. But I never aspired to get to an hour. I aspired to work out every day. I didn't aspire to work. And so I had to really defy the norm, because I realized the norm is not that. I don't fit in that box. I need to design it for me. I needed to make it work for me. And so the 2 primary things I did was I carved out my meals, and I ate them every 90 minutes to 2 hours. So I grazed all day, which kicked in my metabolism. And I worked out 15 minutes a day for every day. Those 2 things were key and instrumental. And then I just shifted my relationship to food. So I became very mindful when I was feeding my cells versus feeding my craving.
And really loving, that goes back to loving your body and really honoring it.
Yeah, and recognizing and being aware of when I'm in an emotional place that I want breads and I want pastas and I want, and going, okay, so how do I satisfy that emotion without having to go get a piece of bread or a piece of cake? What do I need? I need right now to feel comfortable. I need right now to feel close. I need warm and fuzzy right now. So I begin to look at what are my needs under my food choices. What are my emotional needs under my food choices?
That's so interesting you say that, because I have a really good friend, Barbara Reed, and when she's helping people, she's a life coach, and she also deals with food addictions and things like that. So instead of having people track what they're eating, she has them track how they're feeling every time they eat. And I love that, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do a food journal, and I don't really want, I don't want to do that. But interestingly, it kind of gets them in that mode of how they're feeling as they're eating different things. And so that's kind of what that reminds me of. But you're so right. It's getting to the why. And this makes me feel so good, because the first few things in my program are having people identify their why. Why do you want to do this? And don't beat yourself up. And it's not about perfection. It's just, Marie Forleo says it's not about perfection. It's just about progress. So those are kind of the things that I've instituted, and it's making the little tiny steps instead of saying, okay, I'm going to work out for 2 hours, and you just know that's not possible. So, God, congratulations. That is really awesome. Really, really awesome.
Thank you so much.
but